there is a basic flaw in this whole process. Title 10, the removal provision, the ARP rule, do not apply to Ms. Debbie Brown. There is no basis for the complaint against her, and it should be summarily dismissed. It was served on her January 3rd and requested that she be removed from office. She does not hold at this time, except for her bonus vote in the district level, she does not hold an elected office. During the 2012 state convention, she was elected vice chair of the Republican Party. However, she does not become the vice chair until February 1st. So the only removal process that can apply here is to her elected position as bonus vote and not as vice chair. Article 6, Section 19, the removal article in the party rules only applies to elected, and I put that in quotation mark, elected ARP office. And that's pursuant to Article 10, Section 1. Title, grounds for removal, states, quote, any person holding elected office may be removed from office for any of the following reasons. The complaint is not clear what office you seek to remove her from. Is it as a bonus vote or as vice chair effective February 1st? So the only office she now holds until February 1st is bonus vote from her district. Accordingly, if the complaint seeks to remove her as vice chair of the party, she holds no elected office as such. The other jurisdiction, or really basic due process, is that all of the allegations concerns the duties of a treasurer. The complaint against Brown alleges, quote, she did not follow Article 9, Section 7B to distribute District 34 funds, end of quotation. And, quotation, did not report the distribution of district funds to the state treasurer as directed by Article 7, Section 1, subsection D. Brown's husband was the district treasurer during 2012. Pursuant to Article 9, Section 11 of the party rules, the duties of district treasurer are described as follows. I am quoting per word, identically what appears in the rules. The district treasurer is the district fiscal agent. He deposits his district committee funds in a depository designated by the district committee. He informs the district finance committee of funds required for district activities. He disperses funds for expenses budgeted or otherwise as authorized by the district committee. He accounts for all receipts and disbursements as required by the Alaska Public Officers Commission, APOC, and provides reports based on district and APOC schedules to the district committee and APOC. The assistant district treasurer shall assume the district treasurer duties whenever the district treasurer is unable to perform his duties. All these duties are within the realm of the district treasurer. Brown, as vice chair of bonus vote for her district, was not responsible for the distribution of funds or to make reports on the distribution of district funds to APOC. Accordingly, the complaint against her ignores the party rules and is fundamentally flawed. The complaint against her should be summarily dismissed. Thank you.
Okay, at this point, time remaining.
7 minutes, 27 seconds.
So I'll make that as a motion to dismiss. How's that?
Okay. So from the floor, from Ms. Brown, if you're...
I would like to avoid the treasurer of former, now obsolete, District 34.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay.
If my husband, as the former treasurer, would like to speak, I would like to ask him to speak because he may not be able to make the next meeting.
Okay. My name is Jack Brown. I should be named with this complaint. Just a quick little background about me. I was an elected official for 15 years, never had an APOC violation. Since that period of time, I've had open bypass surgery. 2010,
I'll get out of your way here so you'll be able to have some room.
Surgery on my heart. When APOC initially brought up these problems, they said, did you do anything in 2010? I said, I have no memory of 2010. My last memory probably is 2008. When my grandson, 2 nephews were killed that year. One was murdered here in Anchorage. I think I probably shut down at that point. I am a very honest man. Anybody that's ever known me was commended by the legislature. My one sole contribution to the Republican Party is I personally recruited Mike Chenault, and I feel vindicated for that now. I'm a very honest guy. I've never cheated anybody. There's no person alive that ever could say I cheated. This whole thing is about us making a revenue of $120-some that I could not remember. They, I think Randy or someone from the ARP produced a complaint. APOC called me again, I believe it was in September. I started working with Vinette. I called him back a couple times. He never answered my calls. And then finally I got a hold of APOC and they said, well, he's resigned. So between that point, our house totally burned down. So we're in the process of rebuilding a house, rebuilding a cabin. We're homeless, basically, but we're doing okay. But these are all my fault. My wife, I'm old school. Right or wrong, if I take on a job, I do it. Nobody else is at fault for that. And that's a horrible thing for anybody to say, you know, that my wife did something wrong. She's the most fastidious person in the world. If she had my job, there wouldn't have been a problem, and I apologize for that. Whatever the APOC fine is, I'm going to recommend they give half to the Republican Party because they did the due diligence in finding the problem, reporting it to APOC, and then finally it got to me. But anybody that knows me knows everything I just said is true, and my wife is not to blame. I am.
Any minutes left?
4 minutes.
I just want to wrap up by saying we have really awesome people. We've got fantastic people in this party, all over this state. What we do not need, what we need from our leadership is help and support and encouragement. We don't need setups and tape recording of people when they have no knowledge of it. We have folks who are trying to recollect what happened in good faith, to do the right thing. And what happened here is District 34 folks, with the exception of our excellent bonus vote, Mike Tarian, which is not really, I'm sorry, Mike, that it didn't come out on Mr. Rudrick's tape recording, but we know you were the bonus vote, and we knew you were out of state and could not be reached. We didn't have opportunity to weigh in on it, but we had a majority agreement to close the account of District 34 and to, in an honest and open way, overnight I might add, on March, we agreed that we would close the account. On March 9, that Mr. Rudrick infers that we are being dishonest. What that means is, on March the 9th, we closed the account. Jack did. Mike, the treasurer, our treasurer. When I say we, I mean District 34. So on that day, the 9th, those funds were turned into gas cards on the 9th, and the receipts show it. And on the 10th day of March, we delivered those to another group of honest, hard-working volunteers in this Alaska Republican Party of the new District 30 down at the district convention. On that day, and nobody documented the moment, they went into a file folder, and they weren't touched. And I have never touched these cards. Okay? And you must understand that the treasurer of District 34 did his level best to make sure that those funds were wrapped up, turned into gas cards, which we have every opportunity to make a decision, as long as those gas cards are used for Republican business. They were issued to a legitimate subdivision of this Republican Party, new District 30, and they, after a decision was made by the executive group of District 30, they authorized use for the gas cards. And one gas card per family could be issued if you were duly seated at the election and you stayed the whole dadgum time and you did not scoot off and go shopping or get your nails done or your beard trimmed or go to the gym. And those folks were the only people that had a card, and I wasn't even in the room. Nominations committee. We were in there outside the opportunity. I never saw when those cards were distributed, but they were honorably distributed upon the group authorizing this to be done. And the chairman, Dick Hawkins, Lieutenant Colonel Dick Hawkins, U.S. Air Force retired, will state that to you. And we have documents that will bring back the honor that apparently the leadership of this party is hell-bound to undo the honor and the dignity and the respect of decent, hard-working volunteers in this party who are freedom-loving, Constitution-loving, gun-toting, pro-family. There are people, you're trying to undo people here who have courage, and it should not be allowed. And you've got to have courage, folks, to stand up against this kind of thing, which we will do. But I'm not going to do it with an unfair environment and without proper legal opportunity to discuss such things and let people know what really happened and not being completely aware or having first understanding that there was a tape recording going on. You have to say enough is enough when it comes to what is the truth, and I stand for truth.
Well, thank you, Ms.
Thank
Brown.
you very much.
Do what's right.
So,
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. This is inappropriate from
Mr. Straight is correct. We asked people to refrain from clapping and responding. Just going to keep to the facts here. At this point, complete cross-examination is 5 minutes and is followed by SEC member written questions.
Mister, may I ask a question? I have more witnesses, and I'm concerned that I don't have time to have more witness provide information and the truth to this matter.
So we'll take that up as we go through
A
the process.
continuance?
If there's a motion that gets passed by the SEC, that's totally up to the body of the elected SEC members. At this time, following back to the orders of the day, Mr. Ruderick is 5 minutes for complaints cross-examination, and would ask that Mrs. Julie Judd, are you ready? For
I'm
5
ready.
minutes?
I can pass out papers for questions, so you guys can write them down now or after.
I would ask that you pass them out now.
No, she's going to just do this.
Next on the orders of the day
To
are
just SEC members.
SEC members only, written questions, 10 minutes.
I haven't started the clock.
Okay, my first point that I want to try to clarify, we have nothing in this complaint in any way, shape, or form addressing what District 30 did.
Objection. This is time for questioning, not for final arguments. We got another time for arguments later.
Ms. Brown, when you say something, do you believe that you mean what you say?
Yes.
And if we address that same question 4 minutes later and we have a different answer, is that okay?
It would be me trying to provide clarification to someone who I do not believe has clear understanding.
I was trying to gain an understanding. I flew to Kenai to gain an understanding. I was told originally that there were no funds. We worked very hard to prove that there were funds. And you're saying now that your situation is that you had nothing to do with this. My point in the complaint was the complaint is on your activities, not your husband's duties. Do you view the fact, did you have any duties in this process?
I was not the treasurer.
You
So
were the vice chair.
therefore,
What duties-
in my capacity as vice chairman, I am not the treasurer. So therefore, I think you know the answer to that question because you know the rules about what a vice chairman difference of the duties between that and a
What was the
treasurer.
status of your chairman?
I don't know.
You said you communicated with him frequently. What was the status of your chairman?
I don't know I don't know the meaning of your question. I
Were
don't
you aware
know.
of the fact that your chairman had surgery and that you were effectively the chairman of the district?
At no time had I had any communication about that. None.
But
No,
you
I was not
testified
the
that you
chairman.
had-
I
you
was
had great
absolutely not the
communication in your
chairman.
district, but you didn't know
I would
anything
ask-
about the chairman.
I was not the
I
chairman,
would ask that
and I was not the chair.
What is
I would
treasurer.
ask that a point of order, I would ask that a question be asked and a question be answered. Then please, please proceed.
Excuse